What is up, budget billers? Today we have some rather unexpected news to share with you. The IRS has multiple warning messages for the American people. These are probably going to affect every single American out there and even non-U.S. citizens as well. In addition, it looks like President Biden has a rough future ahead. The GOP is already planning on multiple lawsuits into the Biden administration, as well as the latest information regarding his son Hunter Biden and that lost laptop. Yes, we have information that is planning on to being released on Friday. We'll just have to wait and see if Elon Musk does what he says he is going to do. And last but not least, another blow to President Biden and his student loan debt relief plans. This idea for forgiving student loan debt may never happen at all. But I do have some details to share with you. But in the meantime, hey, you already know what to do. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, as well as hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Starting off with some good news first, President Biden signed that rail agreement into law on Friday, which means that there probably won't be a strike. So that is some good news, guys, because the American people were expected to receive the brunt if a strike was to happen on December the 9th. And it looks like now that Congress has both agreed to this particular new piece of legislation and President Biden signed it on Friday morning, the good thing is, yes, this is going to block workers from striking ahead of the busy holiday season. So kudos to that particular ordeal. And we are excited to see that that thing is over. Now on to the next thing, which I believe is debt ceiling, guys. We'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. But right now, guys, moving on. Hey, McCarthy indicates that the Republicans plan on investigating the January 6th panel. Yes, it says that House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California is asking the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on Capitol Hill to preserve all of its documents, saying that the coming Republican majority plans on reviewing all of that work that was performed. He said in a statement that, look, it is imperative that all information collected be preserved, not just for institutional prerogatives, but for transparency to the American people. McCarthy wrote this in a letter to Representative Bernie Thompson, the chairman of the Select Committee. And also, guys, the American people have a right to know that the allegations you have made are supported by the facts and to be able to view the transcripts that was created. So it looks like there may be a little bit of controversy moving forward in the future in regards to the Biden administration, as well as the panel that pretty much handled the January 6th committee in reviewing all the information that led up to the attack on Capitol Hill. And the Republicans believe that some of this information should show that there was some illegal activity going on. So we'll just have to see about that. I'm sure they are retaining all of that information, as well as the transcripts that were particularly handled. So the Republicans want to get a hand of this to make sure that they review it themselves and see if there is any type of information that could lead towards any type of lawsuits for the future. So again, guys, we'll just have to see how that turns out. Also, the GOP and their new committee leaders are preparing a blitz of other investigations as well. Yes, it talks about it right here that House Republicans are promising aggressive oversight of the Biden administration once they assume the majority next year, with a particular focus on the business dealings of the president's son, Hunter Biden, in regards to the illegal immigrants at the U.S.-Mexican border and in regards to the originations of COVID-19, which is weird because COVID-19 started under the former president Donald Trump, but it looks like they're believing that something originated under President Biden. So anyways, guys, that is just some of the investigations that the GOP is planning on bringing forth to the Biden administration. And like I said earlier in the video, guys, President Biden has an uphill battle for the future, and he only has around 2 more years to go. But it looks like the Republicans are going to be bringing the hammer and the heat towards him and his administration. And it said that Republicans won't have enough voters to advance key legislative priorities if there is no Democratic buy-in, but their oversight of government agencies could put Democrats on a defensive and damper support for the Biden administration going into the 2024 presidential election. And some of the lawmakers expected to lead those investigations once the House Republicans select their new committee chairs will bring the heat. I guarantee it, guys. So yes, guys, we'll just have to see how that turns out. We don't necessarily know exactly what they're looking for, but we do know they are looking for something and hoping that they find something that they can bring forth to go and fight against President Biden, as well as his son, Hunter Biden. We know that he lost that laptop, which contained a lot of crucial information. And guys, we just received word that the owner of Tesla, as well as Twitter, plans on releasing all the information that Twitter blocked from being released to the American people. He planned on releasing that information sometime on Friday. So far, guys, as the time of I'm filming this video, that hasn't happened as of yet. But as soon as we get information, I will report that back to you. Moving on. Hey, the IRS has another warning that they want the American people to know about. And that is, you're going to be filing your 2021 tax return sometime next year, and they want you to know right now, a year before or a couple of months before, they want you to know that the tax refunds may be a little bit smaller in 2023. Yes, it says that the lack of stimulus payments in 2022 will play a key note, according to the IRS. Yes, the IRS is issuing a warning for 2023 that you'll likely won't receive a large tax refund as you have in the past. The lack of stimulus payments in 2022 will play a key role in this, but refunds may be smaller. Taxpayers will not receive an additional stimulus payment with a 2023 tax refund because there was no economic impact payments for the year of 2022. And in the last 2 years, many taxpayers received additional refunds due to economic impact payments. The official name for stimulus payments issued during the COVID-19 pandemic, the last stimulus payment was issued in March of 2021. And with none coming in 2022, taxpayers won't get the additional money in their refunds. So guys, yes, they're saying that you're not going to get that much money next year. So you might want to prepare for that because of right now, so far, there hasn't been any economic impact payments or any stimulus checks, any stimulus payments or anything like that other than what we've seen from the local cities and states. We have seen those going out, but as far as on a federal level, yes, we just haven't received any, guys. So you're probably going to receive less on your tax refund when you file that next year. So anyways, guys, that is just the first warning from the IRS. And then the second warning from the IRS, they want you to know to be aware, guys. There are a lot of scams going on out there. Texting scams, guys. Scams happening and being sent to your phone thinking that they are legitimate because it says it's coming from the IRS.gov. But let me remind you guys that the IRS does not text message you. They don't call you. All they will do is send you a letter in the mail to the address that they have on file. That is it, guys. So if you receive anything like that, or if you receive anything from some other company that you don't normally receive anything from, or you didn't necessarily solicit that information, you want to be mindful of that, guys, because that is exactly how millions of people get scammed every single year. As well as now that we're moving into the tax season within the next 60 days or so, you're also probably going to receive some scams in regards to taxpayers and getting your tax refund check, getting a huge check in which they're going to contact you and ask you to send them money so that they can send you your refund check directly to your pocket. Don't fall for it, guys. There are a lot of scams out there. If you receive anything like that, ask your neighbor, ask your friend, ask your child or your parent or anything like that. Ask someone else. Just don't act on it on your own. This is a way to keep you and your family safe during these particular times. So, guys, don't say it. Do not say that Budget Bill did not warn you. I'm telling you right now, be on the lookout, guys, or just ask me. But anyways, guys, and last but not least, in regards to the IRS warnings, they are warning the American people in regards to those individuals that use those payment apps such as Venmo and PayPal and Cash App. They are telling you again that for the year of 2022, if you receive over $600, you want to be mindful that you are probably going to file this on your tax tax return. Now, whether or not that was for a business or whether it was for someone owing you some money, either way it goes, guys, you have to let the IRS know what that money was for. Be aware of this, guys, which I bring up the question because we recently heard where the Biden administration was putting out around $80 million to the IRS so that they can go after those millionaires, those individuals that make more than $400,000 per year. Those are the ones that are particularly evading paying their fair share as well as paying their taxes. But now we see this and the IRS is going after the little people who send more than $600. Let me just remind you guys that the millionaires and the billionaires, they are not using Venmo. They're not using PayPal. They're not using Cash App. They don't use those apps. But the IRS is going after those individuals that use those apps. Those are the ones that are sending like $20 to $30 or $5. But it's kind of weird, guys, because the government said that we wanted to go after those individuals that make more than $400,000. But we see this right here. It looks like they are going after the ones that make way less than that, guys. But let me know what you think about this down below, guys. I think it is a great discussion to be had. So anyways, guys, those are the 3 warnings from the IRS. So you want to be mindful of those, guys, and spread the news. If you have to, guys, share this video with someone else. And then also, guys, the Republicans are now trying to pull back the amount of money that the government has said that they were going to give to the IRS, which, like I said, guys, the United States, the Biden administration, as well as the government has approved to giving the IRS around $80 million to fund them to hire 87,000 new IRS agents to go after those individuals that make more than $400,000 per year. But it looks like the Republicans don't want that to happen. They don't want that money to be spent on the IRS, and probably because they know that the money is going to be used to go after them. So anyways, guys, the Republicans said that they are trying to pull that back because they don't want that IRS funding to actually come to fruition. It says that their particular strategy could result in a new shutdown threat. Yes, Republicans have threatened to upend the infusion of cash allocated to the IRS by the Inflation Reduction Act since virtually the moment President Biden signed it into law. And now with the party set to regain more power and legislative influence, lawmakers are offering insights into how they will attempt to realize that vision. And yes, right now, the current House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy, who is likely to become the Speaker of the 118th Congress, has said that Republicans will revoke the IRS $80 billion over the next 10 years. The IRA provided as the new majority's first act. Even if McCarthy is able to wrangle the votes for that measure, it will be a non-starter in the Democratic-controlled Senate. Republicans are signaling another approach that they would take, which would ramp up oversight of the spending. So, guys, yes, they don't want this $80 billion to be spent. They want to stop it right now, but they might have a little bit of trouble because the Senate is controlled by the Democratic Party. So, anyways, guys, that is just something that's going on in the news. And then also, this is a little bit shocking because the Pentagon has just debuted a new stealth bomber, the B-21 Raider. No one even knows that this was actually being built because they kept it a complete secret. And yes, guys, America's newest nuclear stealth bomber is making its public debut after years of secret development and as a part of the Pentagon's answer to rising concerns over the future conflict with Russia. The B-21 Raider is the first new American bomber aircraft in more than 30 years. Almost every aspect of the program is classified ahead of its unveiling Friday at an Air Force facility in California, and only artist renderings of the warplane have been released. Those few images reveal that the Raider resembles the black nuclear stealth bomber it will eventually replace, which was the B-2 Spirit. Again, China is on track to have 1,500 nuclear weapons by the year of 2035, and its gains in hypersonic, cyber warfare, space capabilities, and other areas present the most consequential and systemic challenge to the U.S. national security and the free and the open international system, according to the Pentagon. But In a statement from the Pentagon, they said that, look, we needed a new bomber for the 21st century that would allow us to take on much more complicated threats, like the threats that we fear we would one day face from China as well as Russia, according to the Air Force Secretary. And the B-21 is the more survivable and can take on these much more difficult threats. So while the Raider may resemble the B-2, once you get inside, the similarities stop there, according to Chief Executive of Northrop Grumman Corporation, which is building the Raider bomber. So again, guys, hey, look at this picture, guys. This thing looks pretty darn sweet. However, this is all we have, guys. They really are not releasing any information about this just yet. They have just released information that they have been working on this B-21 Raider. So hopefully within the next weeks or so, we should see more information, more of some pictures perhaps, and just exactly what this particular bomber plane can actually do for the American people. So again, guys, I will give you updates on that moving forward. But guys, in regards to President Biden, he is receiving another setback. Unfortunately, guys, he was having a good time and now it's going back bad once again. Yes, the Biden student loan debt forgiveness plan suffers another setback. The federal appeals court on Wednesday declined to shelve a lower court's ruling blocking President Biden's student loan debt relief plan as the administration's full appeal proceeds. The decision from the New Orleans-based U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit marks the second appeals court to issue a setback to the policy, effectively halting the plan that gives federal borrowers making less than $125,000 per year up to $10,000 in debt relief, with an additional relief for Pell Grant recipients. And yes, the three-judge panel, who were appointed by presidents from both parties in a brief Wednesday night order, declined to block the Texas-based trial judge decision last month, ruling that Biden's overstepped his power in developing the debt relief plan. So again, guys, so far that thing is still on hold. The American people are not going to be receiving $10,000 in debt relief or even up to $20,000 in debt relief. Right now it's on hold and we'll just have to see how all of this plays out in the court system. But so far it doesn't look good, guys. This doesn't look like this is actually going to come to fruition. But maybe something else happens, guys. We just don't know yet. But this is like the second or third setback for the Biden administration in regards to the debt relief plan. So hopefully they'll get that thing figured out very soon. But anyways, guys, hey, I hope you enjoyed all this information in this video today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But feel free to check out some of the links down below because it is some great ways for you to be able to support this channel, as well as some other opportunities for you to earn some free money, some free cash, as well as how you can receive 12 free stocks with Webull after depositing just $1. And those stocks could be worth up to $3,000. But anyways, guys, hey, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.